Hi, Sweet Pea.
Hi, Mummy Bear.
We have another good old chit-chat.
Mm-hmm.
And this episode, it's with the incredible Mary from Burrow Farm Gardens down in Devon.
And core blimey, does she have the most amazing garden?
Core blimey governor, does she have the most amazing garden? It truly is.
It is actually incredible.
We speak with first-hand experience.
Yeah,
but
we got to go there.
We got to go there, but we first saw her on episode 1 of 2023 Gardener's World.
Yeah, with Toby. He went round to see her.
Specifically to look at her grass garden, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Amazing grasses.
We then got to go and see it afterwards, see it in the flesh and be in and amongst it. It feels amazing because you're so in and amongst it because as we know,
the grasses are enormous.
The beds are slightly raised, so it raises then these already enormous grasses, which are soaring over you. But then there were loads of beautiful flowers in there, and you've just got to go there.
Just perfectly put together. All her different areas in her incredible 13-acre garden are beautifully put together. But we talk a lot about that on this podcast.
All about her garden.
And it was a joy speaking to Mary, someone with such a wealth and decades of experience.
So many top tips as well.
So
some funny
many
little
top
bits
tips
as well.
But we talk about her amazing champion tree. And that was the start of her gardens that she also mentioned on Gardener's World.
Yeah, that was really interesting.
And we talk about her dream garden.
Yes.
And there's quite a lot, if not everything, is from her actual garden, because if you ever visit, you'll understand why that's her dream garden.
You'll completely understand. It is the most incredible garden, and it is full. I think it will float the boat of many people because there are so many very different places. Mm-hmm. So there were very formal bits with beautifully made stone steps, very neatly cut borders.
Beautiful walls and gates.
This is actually where I got my idea for the loads of anemones, because the anemones, when we went there, were all perfectly in flower.
Yeah.
And there were just these swathes of beautiful pink Japanese anemones. And it looked gorgeous. And obviously Eupatoriums. Eupatoriums were also there.
Yeah, that's your new favourite plant.
But then there were really wild areas, some quite shady areas, lots of gunneras. I mean, the most incredible gunneras.
Wildflower meadows.
And then just kind of amazing areas where you can just walk and it's just all this beautiful grasses and wildflowers that you're talking about, and loads of the trees are beautiful.
We've been talking a lot about this mammoth road trip that you want me to take you on around the whole of the UK.
Yeah.
We did a mini one. We went down south, didn't we, to Devon, Cornwall, and visited a few gardens. And I think I'm right in saying that Mary's is your favourite of all the gardens we've seen so far.
100%. Also, the cake there was really nice.
The cake was really good. The sandwiches are good. You get greeted with, "All right, my lover."
Yeah. It's just so nice. The people there are lovely.
And there are robins that come and just sit next to you whilst you're eating, probably to get some crumbs, but they just... I think it's because of my sparkling wit and personality that they're there.
Oh yeah, of course, absolutely. It was so sweet. There was two of them, and one was next to you, one was next to me, and they were so sweet. So, as usual, our format is your garden boundary, shed or greenhouse, 5 ornamentals, 5 edibles, 1 statement tree, pond or pool plus 1 plant, and then finally your favourite seating area with your ideal drink and 1 plant for that area.
Wow, you're getting really good at that.
I know, it's almost becoming like a riddle and a poem that you've got to just kind of get out of your mouth.
Rattle off. So Mary was in the offices at the gardens, and I think it was probably lunchtime. We can hear somebody in the background coughing. Her grandson, who's also very heavily involved, it's quite a family affair at Burrow Farm Gardens. Her grandson's also he makes a cameo appearance on this podcast briefly.
He was really nice.
And also Mary joined us, because although it's an audio podcast, we do see each other. And Mary joined us with a patch over one eye, and she had to have an operation on her eyelid, and she was shooting off after the conversation to go back to the hospital.
Yeah, to get it removed.
But when we went a few weeks later to Burrow Farm Gardens, we were lucky enough to see Mary, because we'd actually seen her zoom past in her golf buggy.
That was so funny. That was quite... It's funny because we had an anecdote of the golf buggy, and then we got to see her on it, and I was just like, yes, I want that.
And so we then went and spoke to her when we finished looking around, and her eye patch was off, and apparently it had been a very successful operation, so that's good news.
All looking good.
So I think without further ado, we should get stuck in.
Absolutely.
So this is a good old chit-chat with Mary.
Yes.
Welcome, Mary, to a good old chit-chat.
Thank you very much. Nice to see you.
And lovely to see you too. So we first saw you on Gardeners World, I think, right at the beginning of 2023. You had Toby Buckland come to visit you.
Toby Buckland, yes. That's right. Yes.
How was that?
It was a lovely visit.
Was he with you all day?
Yes, the whole day.
The whole day.
Yes, although obviously didn't take that long on the television.
No.
It was a whole day.
It shows all the work that goes on behind the scenes of these programmes, doesn't it? That just for a small 5-minute segment, you can be there from 8 till 6, we've heard, for some people.
Yes, that was exactly what it was for us.
It was the same.
Yes. And they were very pleased that I had a golf buggy that I could take some of their equipment around.
Oh my gosh.
I can
see everyone whizzing around the place.
Yes.
So how many acres do you have at Burrow Farm Gardens?
13 acres of garden.
Hence the need for a buggy.
Exactly. It was just a very nice day, really, and the weather was good. They like to start early so they get a bit of the morning light.
That pretty light. It is. Yeah, it's the best time of day, isn't it?
It is.
The thing that really intrigued Sweet Pea and I was your grasses, because we have been dabbling with grasses for the first time ever over the last couple of years, and we loved some of your tips of how to cut them back. You use a hedge trimmer and then you burn them.
Yes.
Can you tell us? Can you tell us a bit more detail about how you manage that area?
Well, it's, I think, one of the most difficult things, particularly to put over to your volunteers, is trying to weed out grasses that you don't want that have seeded themselves in a grass area, to try and explain the difference between some of the grasses.
So how do you do that? Because that's exactly a problem we talked about on one of our recent podcasts. We have what we like to call, quite grand, our prairie beds. And the biggest problem I have is saying, well, that definitely, I recognise that grass because it's that blue grass. But then this one looks very similar to just common garden grass that I really don't think I want in there. How are you figuring that out?
Well, you get to know which grasses you've planted, so then you try and stick to those. But it's the ones that self-seed that can be a problem.
Yeah.
But it's just a question of knowing them, really. We have lots of other plants in our grasses garden, not just grasses, but things that I think look good with the grasses.
What sort of things do you have?
Well, some of the scabious and Althea cannabina, I think, goes really well, and Verbena bonariensis.
I love that one.
Yes. Yeah. And of course, the seedlings of those are very different from the grass, so that's not a problem.
Yeah. We put some crocosmia next to grass and just the little bulbs, and when they first started coming up, I thought they were grass that I didn't want, so I just pulled all those up.
That wasn't a good successful. No.
And then we also saw that incredible field maple, and that's very knobbly, gnarly looking.
Oh yes, it's wonderful, isn't it?
Gorgeous.
And that was the inspiration for me to start the garden. And then a couple of weeks ago, we decided to see whether it qualified as a champion tree or something like that.
Yeah.
Looked into that, and you wouldn't believe it, but within a week, we'd had a whole lot of rain, and it had made it quite heavy, and it's completely split in half, and half of it's died. That's such a shame. It is.
And that was just because of the heavy rain?
Yes, I think that the extra foliage it had put on made it top heavy and one-sided, and couldn't believe it when it was split in half.
So what are you going to do with that?
Well, we've taken off some of the branches and then we've left the main skeleton there as a sort of reminder of what it was.
Well, so you think it's had it now?
The one half is still alive, but of course it's very lopsided and certainly not a champion tree anymore.
Oh, well, that's very sad, isn't it? Yeah, because you said that was kind of the inspiration behind
it was
these gardens.
And on the bowl of it were primroses and things like that, violets, and looked
that's pretty.
pretty. And there it was among all the brambles and everything else when I first saw it.
Yes, so on Gardener's World you explained how it was a dairy farm, or you
Yes.
bought it as a dairy farm, as a working dairy farm.
And my husband built up a dairy herd, and we milked cows for many years, and I used to rear calves and things like that to earn a little bit of money to put into the garden.
And then what was the very first step in you grabbing bits of land from the dairy farm?
Well, it gradually worked out from the house, and I did a little bit there, and then I'd take another few feet of fence, and my husband got very fed up with it and saying that I was taking far too much field. But as it happened, we had this old Roman clay pit in one of the fields, and it was full of brambles, nettles and things, and obviously that was hopeless from a farming point of view. So John said, "Oh, you can do what you like down there." I don't think he really thought I was going to spend about the next 60 years gardening down there, but that's how it worked out.
Incredible. So you've been just sort of hacking away at this, extending the garden over the last, how many years has it been now?
About 65. I think we moved there in 1959, so good long time. But of course, when it was obvious that a small dairy farm was not going to be that viable, I was able to expand out into the fields without too much opposition.
Brilliant.
We got rid of the herd, and I was able to expand a whole lot more and into the 13.
Take over the lot.
Yes.
And so you got rid of the dairy farm, and this became then a garden that was then open to the public at that stage?
Yes, that was always my dream, because it was important that it was going to be self-supporting, because I didn't want it to be a drain on the family.
Yeah. And so how did you start opening it? Did you do that through the National Garden Scheme? Or?
Yes. I did it through the National Garden Scheme to start with, and then gradually expanded. I started when the children were small. I used to close for the summer holidays, obviously, because I was busy with them, and then after they'd left school, we went right on till the end of October.
And would you run that single-handedly to start with?
Single-handed to start with, and then I had an old chap in his 80s who used to help me a bit, and he wasn't a gardener at all, but he was a farm worker, and if I had some outlandish scheme about what I was going to do, he didn't. The rest of the family might have said, "Oh, you can't do that," but
he didn't bat an eyelid.
No, he didn't bat an eyelid, and he'd just say, "What tools does us need, Mary?" and so we'd set off.
We could do with someone like that, couldn't we, Sweet Pea?
Yeah, definitely.
And so what's your setup today?
Well, because we've got 13 acres and we're open for 7 months of the year now, and we have 2 people on the entrance, and since lockdown we've had some really good volunteers come to help. Most of them do just half a day a week, and they really seem to enjoy it, and it's so good.
What sort of volunteers do you get? Are they generally people who are studying horticulture?
Some of them are, but a lot of them are retired people who just enjoy the sort of relaxed atmosphere of the garden.
Beautiful environment.
Yes.
Yeah, and now you have a tea shop set up, do you?
Tea room, yes. Tea room, which my daughter runs.
Oh, right.
And I used to run it to start with, but got too busy with the garden, and she runs the tea room. And then my grandson runs the shop and any events we have, like weddings or theatre, outdoor theatre.
Oh, wonderful. So it's a real family affair.
It is, yes.
Well, we're hoping very much to come visit this summer.
Good.
Yeah, we're planning a little road trip down that direction, so we would love to
Good.
drop in
We'll be
and have a look.
pleased to see you.
Yeah, I mean, it looks incredible. There's a beautiful gallery. I'll put your website on the pod description. There's a really beautifully put together website with
Yeah.
stunning
Good.
photos.
Good.
So, yeah,
Well,
really
looking
lovely.
at
Michael,
it.
my grandson, is responsible for doing the website
And
things.
Michael's doing a fantastic job with that.
Yes.
Good.
It's our son.
I'll tell him.
You let him know.
Yeah.
So I think we should, without further ado, have a look at Mary's Dream Garden. So I'm going to hand you over to Sweet Pea, and she's going to
Yes.
take your order.
Yes,
Right.
exactly. So, Mary, to start off with your dream garden, because this can be whatever you want. Obviously, you can have some inspiration from gardens and your garden. But what would be your garden boundary?
Well, I think because we're in such a wonderful situation and have such lovely views, I've tried to not make the boundaries too obvious.
Yes.
But I've sort of closed the view up in various places with trees and things, and then the whole view opens out again to you from various places in the garden.
We did see that view on the segment on Gardener's World. It's just rolling countryside, really, isn't it?
That's it, yes.
Yeah, really beautiful.
And the closed areas of this idea of your dream garden, what would you use to make it a slightly more enclosed area?
Well, in various places I've used beech hedging, which I think is so useful because, although it's not evergreen, you've got the brown leaves all the winter, so that makes it as good as an evergreen, really.
They're beautiful, aren't they? They're winter colour.
But I try to keep hedges to a minimum if I can, because they're quite hard work, aren't they?
Right.
They are.
So what do you use
Cutting
instead?
them.
Well, just
keep it open.
Yes, and flowing from one area to another. And some of my hedges are the old field boundaries, so they're mixed hedging.
So a proper hedgerow full of wildlife, I imagine.
That's it, yes.
So that's on
lovely.
your for Burrow Farm Gardens. That's right on your furthest
perimeter. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Beautiful.
Right. Well, next question is, would you like a shed or a greenhouse in your dream garden?
Well, certainly, yes, I think a greenhouse is very important and useful, but
Yes.
I would restrict the size of my greenhouse because I don't like growing tender plants, so I use my greenhouse mainly for raising seedlings in the spring, and then it'll be empty for the rest of the year, really.
So it's an unheated greenhouse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And your dream greenhouse would be what sort of style? A wooden one or a iron one?
No, not wooden. It's not really a particularly important thing in my life is my greenhouse. I think perhaps my potting shed is more important, and I've got a large potting shed, and of course it makes it useful for any wet weather in the winter when you've got volunteers and people. We can at least do something useful in the bad weather.
Well, so we could go with a potting shed rather than a greenhouse for your dream garden.
Yes.
A bit more versatile.
Probably
and your
better.
current one is wooden, presumably, and glass down one side.
Yeah.
And would you want it to be painted a colour, or would you want it just to stay a normal wooden colour?
I think my important thing would be something that was easy maintenance.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like spending too much time on that sort of thing. Maintaining buildings.
So how's your current potting shed treated?
It's it's built of concrete block, and because we're on a slope, I've been able to make use of the slope by having it on 2 levels. And so you can put the compost in on the top level, and it's at table level for potting up.
Wait, so your potting shed's on 2 levels?
Yes.
And it's on a concrete block base, or is the whole thing is
yes.
So concrete block base,
concrete walls, and then a tiled roof. It's quite a big building.
Wow. Right, so I don't think I've ever seen a concrete.
No, I've never seen this before.
So how's the glass attached to the concrete?
Oh, there's no glass on that. The greenhouse is entirely separate
Oh, so
building.
you've got no glass for your potting shed?
No,
Oh, okay.
only windows
Yeah,
that the
so
swallows fly in and out of and build
right.
nests in the
Oh,
roof.
lovely. So it's a substantial
sweet.
potting shed. And then
Yeah.
when you say the compost, is that how is the compost contained within your potting shed?
Well, it comes in sacks, big
Oh,
sacks.
okay. So you just store
And
the
then it
sacks
comes
in.
in with a forklift and is put at the right level.
So just because I'm trying to picture this, so I was thinking just a big potting shed, but you actually have got enough room for forklift trucks to come in and out of it.
Well, that's outside, but the forklift goes in, brings the compost in.
Yeah.
The
Wow.
actual thing stays outside.
Okay.
Oh my
Comes in
gosh.
through big doors.
Do we when we come to visit, will we get to see that, or is that all behind the scenes, your potting shed?
No, it's a very obvious place, right
Great.
by the entrance.
Very
I look
obvious.
forward to seeing that. Okay, so we've got
Lovely.
a potting shed, lots
And
of
would you
compost
like
in it.
your dream potting shed to also be on 2 levels to make it
Oh
easier for the
yes, I think
compost?
it's ideal because you haven't got to keep lifting everything. You bring things down all the time rather than having to put it up.
Right.
And we'll try and make it big enough just so you can get the forklift in, because that would be ideal,
Yes,
wouldn't it?
It would, yes.
Does the forklift come with the potting shed? Is that
No,
part of
that
the deal?
belongs to my son's business. He's a landscaper and
Oh, that's convenient.
he's just up the road.
So there's another member of the family who's involved in gardens.
Yes, he has a big landscaping business.
And
Oh,
was he
wow.
inspired growing up on at Burrow Garden, Burrow
Well,
Farm?
let's put it like this. I obviously didn't put him off it.
Yeah, it's very true.
He
Very
started off by thinking farming was the way to go, but then realised that unless you had your own large farm, there wasn't much future in it. So
Yeah,
he changed to landscaping.
good choice.
Well, we're getting kind of the big main structure into your dream garden. Now it is on
Yes.
to personally my favourite part, which is about the plants. So you have a
Yes.
choice of 5 ornamentals to start with. What would be your first one?
Right. My first one would have to be rhododendrons and azaleas.
Ooh.
Obviously, you've got to have the right soil for it. We're not ideal, but we are about neutral, and they do quite well.
Do you add anything to the soil to make it more acidic?
No, I like to go along with what we've got,
Mm.
and I just find the places where I think there's been a bit of leaf mold build up or something like that, and obviously in the woodland of the old quarry,
Yeah.
it's got good soil.
Because aren't pine needles good for acidifying your soil? Is that
Yes,
something I read?
yes. Well, certainly it is, and we've got a few pine trees, and we've got quite a lot of azaleas growing under Scots pines.
Oh, beautiful.
Oh, that's pretty. If you had to choose, like, specifically between rhododendrons and azaleas, which one would be your number one?
Well, I think I find azaleas a little bit easier to please, perhaps, than some of
Okay.
the rhododendrons.
Why is
Yeah.
that?
Well, they just seem to do better in my garden. That's the reason, really. And I do like plants to look healthy and as though
Yes,
they're
of course.
really flourishing. I
Mm.
don't like struggling with things that aren't really happy.
No.
No.
Azaleas are generally smaller, aren't they, than rhododendrons?
Yes, certainly they won't be as big as the large rhododendrons, but
Yeah.
of course rhododendrons vary hugely in size. You can get quite dwarf ones and large-leaved big ones.
Do you have any problems with your rhododendrons spreading?
Well, ponticum spreads that I don't find that any of the others do. When I first started the garden, I dug up a few ponticums just to see whether they do in the quarry, because obviously the light isn't all that great. So I planted a few there to see whether it was worth putting more expensive plants there. And we have to cut those back from time to time, but we haven't got too many of them.
They don't cause too much trouble.
No.
And do you have do you know a specific variety of azalea which you just absolutely love, like a specific colour or variety?
Well, I think, no, I don't think really I have with the azaleas, but rhododendron loderi I love, big yellow scented one. And then there's, I value rhododendron polar bear in the fact that it flowers at this time of the year, sort of August, which is unusual.
Mm-hmm.
And
Oh,
that's
wow,
a
that's
nice
pretty.
scented white one.
Oh, lovely.
Yeah. So would you want both azaleas, because obviously they're two different types of plants and we're counting 5 plants in total. Would you want
Right.
both rhododendrons and azaleas in this dream garden of yours?
Have I got to count those as 2? I suppose I have.
Yeah, I'm afraid you're going to have to, Mary. We have to be strict with you.
Well, let's go next perhaps to roses, which I struggle a bit with because we do have quite a few deer in the garden. And if there's one thing deer really love, it's roses.
Oh, really?
Really?
But yes, that's a great favourite. You can't think why with the thorns, but they do target it. But I have Rosa Hertfordshire, which, although it's a ground cover rose, it actually will, if you put it somewhere where it can be supported, it'll climb. And I've got it climbing up a variegated holly, and it looks amazing to see the pink flowers coming out of this holly.
But the deer like the holly as well.
They do, yes.
Oh,
Got
crikey.
a right little buffet over there.
But actually that happens to be growing quite near the house, and they do respect the house a little bit.
That's nice. They're not just walking next to the house going, hi.
No, fairly near there.
Well, that sounds beautiful. A ground cover rose that can also go vertically.
Is it a single flower or is it double?
Single.
Single.
Yes,
great
single.
for pollinators.
A mass of flowers, yes.
Do you have any problems with black spot or any diseases with your roses?
I'm fairly good at ignoring that sort of thing. I think life's too short to keep spraying everything.
Oh, Mary, it's music to my ears every time I hear a pro like yourself saying that, because it makes me feel that little bit better about our black spot.
Yeah.
I just try and choose varieties that are a little bit more resistant, if possible.
Yeah, sure. And also putting salvias apparently with roses is helpful.
Yes, I've heard that, but I can't say that I've tried it.
You haven't tried it.
No,
we're going to try that this year. So fingers crossed it works. We shall see.
Yeah. Another favourite has always been primroses. We have a lot of wildflowers around the place, but I think primroses have always meant something to me because I was born on Primrose Day.
Oh, right.
So as a child, my mother always used to put a bunch of primroses on my birthday table.
Oh, sweet. Were they from the garden?
Yes.
Oh, how lovely.
And my children continue to do that on my birthday.
Oh, Mary, that's a gorgeous tradition.
That's so lovely. What colour are these primroses?
Just wild primroses. Just the yellow wild ones. Yes.
So you've got that you've got a wildflower meadow, haven't you?
Yes. Primroses grow everywhere in our garden. Not actually in the wildflower meadow because that's taller things, orchids and that sort of thing.
In your wildflower meadow, I saw that you relocate orchids that come up elsewhere and you put them into the wildflower meadow. Does that work well?
It works very well. I think partly because our soil is very heavy clay, so you are able to take out a section of soil around the orchid and it stays as a lump, and then
so you're not disturbing it too much.
So it's almost like it's a pot in itself.
That's exactly it, yes.
And what time of year do you do that with the orchids?
Whenever we want to move them, really.
Really?
Spring mainly.
Yeah, okay.
But whenever they're obvious that they're in the wrong place, then we dig them up.
Yeah, I like that idea a lot. You mentioned earlier that you're on a slope. How steep is that slope?
Well, of course, in the Roman clay pit, it's
very
very,
steep.
very steep, but it's all a gentle slope, really. All the rest of it, it's an east-facing slope.
So you haven't had to do much in the way of terracing then?
No, no, I go with whatever the topography is, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
And in the Roman clay pit, because I can't entirely picture it in my head, have you had to do like some really big terraces for that area? Because you said it's quite steep, or have you let lots of it kind of stay steep and just
I
planted
haven't
up?
done anything unnatural. I've left it exactly as it is. And then there's
Yeah.
a pond at the bottom.
Wow. So how do you manage if it's very steep? How are you managing that bit of land and
Well,
planting in it?
well, it's a matter of scrambling about. It always was a matter because it was all covered in brambles and things.
Yeah.
And luckily, I was obviously very much younger then, and it was okay. I
So you're not
certainly
abseiling down it.
no, I'm not tackling it nowadays.
We asked because we have a very slopey garden, and it's tempting sometimes to have an abseil. We
Yes.
dug a pond which was about 20 meters below the veggie garden, and we wanted to take the soil from the pond and put it in the veggie boxes. And we did create a kind of abseil where we had a pulley system coming off a plum tree, so that we could put builders buckets at each end, fill one end with the soil, and Sweet Pea would hold onto that, and then I'd abseil down the other end of this rope, so we'd pass each other in the middle, and then we'd do it all over again.
Sounds ideal.
Yeah.
It worked all right. It was a good workout.
Yes, I bet it was. I've still got a few more ornamentals to go, haven't I?
What, you've
Haven't
got
done
one
my
more
five,
actually.
have I? One more. Well, Echium
Ec-
blue bedder, which is only an annual, but such a lovely blue, and the bees love it.
Oh wow. So that's a great pollinator for the garden.
Yes, I mean, people think of the Echiums as very tall, perhaps going up to 6 or 8 feet. But this is a small one, about 2 feet. But it is only an annual, but it will self sow a bit.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's beautiful blue.
When do they flower? Are they flowering now?
Yes, they're flowering now, and
Beautiful.
they'll go on till the end of the year, really.
And are they like a true blue color or kind of a purple?
Yes,
Oh, they're a
no,
true blue. Wow.
true blue, sort of forget me not blue.
Oh,
Gorgeous.
wowzers. That sounds amazing. We're now on to your 5 edible plants. So this can be herbs, veg, fruit, whatever. So
Yeah,
what would you like
I
as your first one?
well, I don't have a vegetable garden at all.
No.
But so my vegetables have got to be ornamental and be in the garden. Cardoons, I love cardoons
Oh,
for their
yeah.
grey foliage.
Yes.
Beautiful. Do you eat them?
No,
The ones in your garden? You
no,
don't. So even the ones you have as ornamental, you're not
don't.
grabbing a quick
No.
bit.
Another one is chives. I think they're very ornamental,
Oh,
but
they're
we
pretty.
do use those.
Yeah.
We use those in the tea room for sandwiches and things.
Lovely. Oh, so you do eat those. So, and
Yeah.
what's your reason for not growing edibles generally?
Time,
Mm.
just not time to do everything.
No, I guess with 13 acres of garden, it's enough on your plate.
Yeah.
But if I was growing one edible, runner beans, I think is one
Right.
of the most useful.
Lovely.
Uh,
Yeah.
And of course, you can get different coloured flowers as well, so they can be combined in an ornamental garden.
Very pretty flowers. We've got some purple runner beans, and the flowers have just been exquisite.
Yeah,
Yes,
they
yes.
really
Really lovely.
flash out that part. And also the stem of the actual runner beans in itself is this deep purple with then these big
Yeah.
dark green leaves. So it has this
Yes.
amazing contrast between the two.
Yes,
Looks
that's
amazing.
right.
I remember listening to Sarah Raven, and she said that she actually grows a lot of her beans purely for the flowers.
Yes, I can understand that.
Yeah, me too. So you're going to have cardoons, chives, and beans. Now, remember, this is your dream garden. So if time wasn't an issue, so you
Yes.
can put that aside.
Yeah.
Someone else is handling all this for you, Mary.
Yeah.
And anything from anywhere in the world.
I think some of the Swiss chard is really ornamental colours for
Beautiful.
stems. So I think I could probably combine those in my dream garden.
So the chard, so Swiss chard, so you'd have all those beautiful rainbow stems.
Yes.
And then are you going to eat those? Because this is your dream garden, remember?
Probably
So someone
would.
else.
Yes, I probably would. Yes.
So good. I love doing the rainbow ones because you can, even when you've got the very thin stem, it's really tender, and you pop it in, cut it up thinly in a salad. It makes a rainbow salad, and it's utterly beautiful.
Sweet Bea made this salad yesterday with the rainbow chard in, and I was totally surprised because I didn't know she was putting that in.
No.
It was absolutely delicious. Just straight from the veggie garden.
Did you, because you said how when you were younger, and I wanted to ask you about this earlier, you said how your mum would give you primroses from your garden. Did you have much of a garden? Did you have like a big garden when you were younger?
Yes, I did. My father was always a very keen gardener, and I think that's what inspired me to start the garden, really. I always had a little bit of garden as a child, which I was encouraged to look after, which I did.
And what did you grow in that?
Well, I used to. I had an old aunt who used to give me 6 pansies for my birthday each year. And, I used to go with her and into a nursery and choose the 6 pansies, which probably took me several hours.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
And then apart from the pansies, I used to grow a lot of annuals and mark out the border into various patches and then sow the annuals in there. So I took it all as a matter of course, gardening from my father.
So it was just in the blood already.
Yes.
What did he think when you started transforming?
Well, unfortunately, he died when I was 16, so he never saw my garden.
No.
But a cousin came years after I started and said it was just the kind of garden that my father would have made.
Really?
So
that's a lovely thing to hear.
That was interesting. Yes.
Yeah. Have you had any formal training?
I have. Yes, I have. I went to Bicton College, which is the Devon Agricultural Horticultural College, for 3 years, doing a part-time course as a mature student, and found that useful.
Yeah. So you'd been setting up your garden for years before that,
yes.
And then went and did a 3-year course.
Yes.
So did that change your approach much?
Well, one of the things it did, because it made you concentrate on things perhaps that you weren't particularly interested in before, like bedding schemes. And then when my son started his business, I used to do a lot of the planting for him, and that involved for show gardens and things, it involved bedding schemes. So I was glad that I'd really come to grips with that sort of thing.
What was the course that you did?
It was actually City and Guilds. It was before the RHS courses were started.
So, City and Guilds in horticulture?
Yes. Amenity horticulture. But it was a 3-year course, and then you had all the exams at the end.
Yeah. And did part of that course involve garden design?
Yes.
Right, okay.
But also included things like sports field maintenance and sort of things like that, which I've never used, but
of
quite
course,
interesting to know how to renovate a football pitch.
So quite a broad area that covered.
Yes, and I'd started the garden, and I'd had 4 children, and then I was able to take a bit of time. It's only 1 day a week, so I used to go and do that, and it was a great joy.
Yeah.
And did you always dream of becoming a gardener? Was that always your kind of idea when you were younger?
No, not particularly. In fact, my main job when I was younger was dog training.
Oh, wow.
Totally different, but gardening has always been an interest, visiting gardens and that sort of thing.
Have you got dogs?
Sadly, not now. I've had 13 rescue dogs in my life, but
Wow.
decided I've really got too old to take on a dog, so we've now got 2 kittens at the moment.
Oh,
A bit lower maintenance.
Yeah.
Slightly lower.
Certainly lower. Yes.
Yeah, we've actually gone the opposite way. We used to have 2 cats who were just a breeze, just very easy, very, very funny as well. They were Siamese, so they were real clowns.
They
Yeah.
chatted a lot.
Then they
had a lot to say.
had a lot to say. And sadly, they passed away, and now we have a rescue doggy who is
very high maintenance.
Yeah. What kind? What breed? Or don't you know?
Well, we were told she had some Labrador in her, but when you looked at her, she could also have had Malinois in her. And then only the other week, I saw a photo of Monty Don's son's dog.
Yeah.
And he described his dog as being a Huntaway.
Oh, yes.
Have you heard of those?
Yes, I have.
And I saw the photo, and I just thought it was our Hobbsy.
Yeah, it looked exactly like our dog.
Yeah, I googled Huntaways, and they look identical to what we have. I mean, she'll be a mix of all sorts. And she was very badly treated before, and
it's
had a
very
pretty rough
rewarding,
start in life.
isn't it, to give a dog like that a new start?
And I tell you what, Mary, she has taken it upon herself to absolutely be Sweet Pea's guardian. She keeps an eye on Sweet Pea all the time. She would defend Sweet Pea. I mean, she's the softest dog you can imagine.
She's soft
I can
as
go
heck.
up. So we've trained her. We had to do quite a bit with her, but she, I've always made sure we can really snuggle her tummy. And for example, if she's got a bone, I make sure she knows that she can't just sort of growl at anyone who comes near her.
Yeah.
And just this morning, I handed her these bits of bone that I found in the garden, and then I sort of nuzzled into her, and she just stood there whilst I cuddled her, and she chewed her bone. Very, very gentle, but the minute she thinks Sweet Pea's in trouble, she's absolutely by her side.
And she gets really broad shoulders as well. I'm like, whoa, you're a bad dog.
Yeah, she does, yeah.
But she's the best thing
very
ever.
rewarding, as you say.
Such good company too, aren't they?
Yeah,
I miss
amazing.
mine like anything.
Yeah,
Oh.
I can relate to that.
I think actually we need to finish off with your last edible plant.
I think perhaps the some of the squashes.
Oh, yeah. Have you got any varieties you love?
No, I don't. I'm just saying that I think that's something. If I was growing edibles, I would add.
But we're going to have to narrow it down because we can't give you all the courgettes and all the butternuts and all the pumpkins out there.
Yeah.
Well, let's go for butternut squash because you can do lovely soup with that.
You could do so much with butternut, can't you?
Yeah.
And the lovely climber, as you said.
Yes.
So you grow your butternuts upwards, so you'd put in some good sturdy trellising.
Yes, that's
and
right.
have all these lovely fruits hanging down.
Would
you have archways, or would you have just like teepees? What would you like to have them as your
I
support?
quite like square pergolas, and I'd probably put them. But I'm not very restrained in my planting, so I would soon put some other things on it, and before you knew what had happened, there'd be a wisteria there as well.
Are you someone who goes to a plant nursery or anywhere and sees a plant, looks at it, goes, "That is amazing, gotta have that, bring it home, I don't know where to put it"?
Absolutely, exactly that. We have a plant fair at our garden twice a year, and I'm always the first out there with my golf buggy.
With the golf buggy.
It's got
blowing everyone else down, out of my way.
Yeah, it's got a box on the back, and in fact I can go around before it's even open to the public, which is even better.
Oh wow, those are the perks of holding it at your place. And you scoop up all the best buys.
Yeah, that's it.
Because that was something they said on Garden as well. The reason you ended up with all the grasses was because you went to... There was a garden centre closing down?
Yes, that's right. And we had what was left at the end. And of course it was all the rather untidy looking grasses. Everybody snapped up everything else. So I had all these hundreds of grasses that I had to find something to do with them.
So you're getting your revenge. You hold the nursery at yours, and then you zoom around on your golf buggy before anyone turns up.
Yes, that's it.
Get all the first picks.
Yes.
I like that a lot.
Yeah, I love that. We're now on to your statement tree, and obviously we know that you've got some amazing trees at yours, but in your dream garden, if you had one tree that you could choose, what would you like that one to be?
Well, I think probably one of my favourites. It's quite a small tree, but Acer palmatum sangokaku, which is the coral bark maple. I
Oh,
just think it's got such a long season of interest because I find in my garden that that's the first one to turn yellow in the autumn.
yeah.
And then, of course, once the leaves come off, you've got the lovely coral pink stems. So I
Wow.
think that
Wow.
has to be my very favourite.
That is incredible.
Yeah,
Yes,
like you say, when the leaves have dropped, you still got that interest.
yes,
And
yes.
have you got that in your garden at present?
Several of them, yes,
Oh,
yes.
wow. And were they there when you got the garden, or did you put those in kind of
No,
at a
no,
later
there was
date?
no garden there when we went there.
Mm,
Nothing in there except one laburnum tree.
one laburnum.
When you
Yeah.
bought those trees, did you buy, what sort of size did you buy them?
Oh, well, they're
Yeah.
quite small. The Japanese maples start off probably about 3 feet.
You'd buy them at 3 foot tall,
Multi-stem, yes,
hmm,
multi-stems. More like almost like bushes, but they
like a
grow
shrub.
into trees. Yes, don't require
Lovely.
any pruning at all.
No.
No.
And are these
But
coral
when,
maples very easy to look after as well?
I think they're one of the easiest. I always feel that the Japanese maple, the more entire the leaf is, the easier they are. The more filigree they are, the more difficult they can be to look after.
Oh,
They're
okay.
okay.
more susceptible to cold winds and things like that.
Yeah, because
Hmm.
they prefer a sheltered spot, don't they?
Yes, yes, they do.
From what I heard. And the one that we bought, just one that we've got, we put it in probably the most exposed place possible. So we're just hoping it survives, but I don't think it will.
Well,
Yeah.
if the leaf's fairly entire, it probably will.
It might be all right.
And did you find in the this quarry area, since it's on a kind of steepish slope, did you find that there were certain plants that you could grow there because it was sheltered?
Well, not particularly because there were mature oak trees there and ash and things. It was always shady,
Okay.
so most of the exotics want much more sunshine than that. So it was
Mm.
much more suitable for woodland plants.
And what do you have there at the moment?
Oh, so many things.
Really?
Down in the bottom, we've got a pond, and there's lots of primulas, gunnera, um,
Oh, wow.
skunk cabbage, Blythicatum americanum, and that really covers most of it.
Mm,
Wow.
fantastic.
Have you got really big gunnera plants? Because they can get
Yes,
huge.
they can, and they have.
Oh, wow.
Do you have to do much with them?
No, not really, except we in the beginning of the winter we turn the leaves over, we cut them off and put them upside down on the plants to protect them if there was a particularly hard winter, and then we remove it all and tidy them up in the spring.
Oh, right. So we were talking to somebody quite recently, and they said that the gunneras are now on the banned list. Is that right? Because they're considered invasive.
Well,
Hmm.
yes, they are, but unfortunately, what they've done is classed them all together
Mm.
and called them invasive. But the one that most people grow, which is Gunnera manicata, in
Yes.
fact, I've never known it set seed at all. So um,
Oh,
I,
good.
I think there's not a problem with it, but they have classed them all together.
That's a
Mm.
shame, isn't it?
But you don't have to destroy the ones you've got, so
No,
Yeah.
that's good.
that's fine.
Well, this brings us on perfectly, actually, because we're talking kind of about the pondish area. To would you like a pond or a pool, and you get one plant to kind of go with this area?
Yes, I think if I've only got I'm not good at restricting myself to one of something, I'm afraid. But I think that Santadesia, the arum, I found very successful to grow in about 6 inches of water, and flowers really well and looks good.
Oh wow.
I didn't know that they grew in water, actually.
They will.
No.
Yes, I've found them growing quite well like that. About 6 inches deep, I put them
Right.
so that any frost, doesn't get them.
Yeah. Okay.
And are you
Wow.
wanting a pond or a pool for these beautiful lilies to go in?
A lake.
A lake.
A lake.
A lake. Well, there we go. That's
Quite right.
brilliant. Beautiful lake.
Why restrict yourself to a pond?
Yes.
Yeah.
So you've got a lake. Have you got a jetty and a boat, or is it not quite that big?
No, well, it would be big enough, but because we dug the pond, I think it was in the year 2000, with the digger, and then we found it kept drying out in the summer. So last September, we took the plunge and got the digger in again, dug it all out, and then lined it with butyl, which was a major job.
Whoa.
And the trouble is, well, you send the measurements away and they make it to fit this lake. And of course, it's hugely heavy, and it's all folded up with
Oh
no
my gosh, yes.
indication of which way round to unfold it.
Oh, no.
So, of course, Sod's Law says that you
You've done it the wrong
do
way.
it the wrong way.
What sort of size is it?
Oh dear, I don't know. I can't remember how big it is, but it just justifies itself as a lake.
Can you remember how many meters of the liner you used?
Can you remember how big the liner was, Michael?
No, I can't. It weighed just under a ton.
It weighed
Yeah.
just under a ton, anyway.
Whoa.
It's heavy stuff. I mean, we've got a teeny tiny pond, and we lined that with pretty substantial stuff because we thought the dog would probably go in,
Yes.
which she
so
did
they're the
in the end.
danger.
That was which she did,
Yeah.
and that weighed a heck of a lot.
It was
and that
so
for our small little
heavy.
pond, so I can imagine
Yes.
you had quite a piece of kit there. And then,
Wow.
like you say, if you unfold it the wrong way, just folding this thing up again to put it the
Yes,
other way.
exactly.
And then you're juggling it around to make it fit this end and that end. And
That's
then all
right.
the folds.
We had all the helpers from Tony's office, and how many of us were?
28 people.
28 people underneath it,
gosh.
turning it round.
They're like, okay, everybody
And then-
shuffle to the left.
28 people got underneath it and turned it round, and then, having got it all in place and put some water in, we then lined the outside edge of it with clay. So because my pet hate is to see any vinyl showing in a pond,
Yeah.
and and now we've planted it up.
And then how did you plant it up?
Yeah.
Well,
Did you use baskets? Or
No, we had a shelf built into it halfway down, and then all this clay put on it, and then we've planted into that.
into the
Oh,
clay?
okay.
Yes.
Yeah. We might want to
Yeah.
think about doing that.
I think we had a lot of lessons learnt from our pond building exercise. You know, if we
Not
were to do
easy,
it again.
is it?
No,
No.
lots of things have changed.
Yeah,
It's one of those jobs. I think you learn every time you build another one.
that's right.
There's so much to take into consideration.
Yes.
There's a lot would change. Did you put felt down under the
Yes,
rubber?
yes,
You did.
yes.
That's the easy bit.
Oh, that was
It is.
lovely.
That was nice. And how did you fill it?
We just waited for the rain. Several streams go into it,
Oh,
and
brilliant.
so it was filled naturally.
How
Oh,
fantastic!
wow.
So in your dream garden, you're having a lake.
Yes,
Like, probably about the same
You're
size.
basically having the lake you've currently got. The
yes,
same lake as you have, with the same streams running into it. Got it.
yeah.
Now we're finally on to our very last question to kind of finalise this beautiful garden. And it is, what would you like to be sitting on? So your favourite seating area. And what drink would you like to be drinking in that moment whilst you're sitting looking over your beautiful views, and you get one plant to kind of be with you in that area?
Well, I think I would sit on a swing seat.
Yes.
They're very
Lovely.
pleasant. And
Is that a swing seat that's attached to a tree or to a
no,
frame?
no, to a frame, because then you can have it wherever you want it.
Yes.
You've got one at Burrow Farm Gardens, haven't
We
you?
have, yes.
I saw that on your website.
And then I would have to have a scented climber, and I think I would go for honeysuckle. I love the smell of honeysuckle. And Graham Stuart Thomas is a nice pale scented one. You have to be careful with honeysuckles because some of the more exotic colours actually aren't that scented. So you do need to smell them first to see that they are scented. And then if I'm allowed a pot of mint, I grow mint to put in my Pims to drink on my seats.
We haven't had a Pims yet.
No, we haven't.
Good choice.
Lovely choice.
So we're assuming it's summer.
Yes. Gorgeous.
That sounds absolutely lovely. I love the idea of the swinging seat. Yours is a beautiful wooden one, isn't it?
Yes.
Where did you get that commissioned? Or
it's Sitting Spiritually. The firm they supply it and put it in our garden each year, and then we have leaflets to sell them.
What do you mean they put it in your garden each year?
Well, we don't have to buy it. They put it in the garden and various other gardens as well, and then they photograph them for publicity.
I see.
And then they have them back at the end of the year and sell them as second-hand seats.
Oh wow! How can we get onto that?
Yeah, we need to figure out to do that. Oh my gosh!
I think we need to have a beautiful garden like Mary's first.
Probably.
That's the secret.
Yes. Well, I am going to read back to you your kind of final dream garden, just in case there is anything where you go, oh my gosh, did not want that. So, to start off with your garden boundary, you didn't want any obvious boundaries. You kind of wanted the rolling hills, the countryside, possibly here and there some beach hedging. Then you're going to have a potting shed, which we said we're going to make just about big enough for the forklift to just get in on 2 levels. So you can have your lovely compost on the kind of high level. Then 5 ornamentals, we had azaleas, rhododendrons, polar bear and loderi, roses, Hertfordshire, primroses, which are the wild ones, and Echium bluebedder. Your 5 edibles were cardoons, chives, runner beans, rainbow Swiss chard, and butternut squash, which we're going to have going up square pergolas. And then your 1 statement tree was
with possibly a wisteria creeping in there as well.
Yes,
okay, right. Possibly a wisteria creeping in there as well.
Mary snuck that in.
Yes. Then your statement tree was your coral bark maple, because I could not say the Latin name.
No.
Then you wanted a lake for your pondal pool, and with a, let me try and say this, Xantidechia arum in there as well, looking beautiful. And finally, you're going to have a swinging seat with a honeysuckle, Graham Stuart Thomas, and your Pims with a possible mint plant in a pot for the Pims.
Yes, that's it.
There we go.
Right?
Sounds
amazing.
About right. Yes, yeah.
Well, wonderful. Well, hopefully we'll see you this summer if we make it,
Yes,
make it
yes,
down to
hope so.
Burrow Farm Gardens. So that's been a good old chit-chat with Mary.
Thank you very much. I've enjoyed it.
Thank you, Mary.
Thank you.